Australia looks like paradise. White beaches, clear waters, vast plains, and ancient forests. But beneath this beauty lies a reputation built on danger. Some of the world's most dangerous animals live across this continent. Venomous snakes, deadly spiders, box jellyfish, sharks, and giant crocodiles dominate here. Australia records more animal-related deaths than the United States. This is despite having a population about 13 times smaller. The cause is not weak healthcare.
Are you comfortable?
Yes, much better.
Australia has one of the most advanced medical systems on Earth. The real reason is evolution. Australian wildlife evolved to survive in extreme conditions. Even today, every step on land and every swim requires caution. Yet modern Australia is the safest it has ever been. To understand why, we must go back in time. Around 50,000 years ago, humans entered an already hostile land. Giant lizards larger than modern crocodiles hunted here. Enormous snakes, predatory marsupials, and land crocodiles shared this world. Some crocodiles could even sprint across land. But this was not Australia's most dangerous age. To find that, we must go back over 100 million years. During the dinosaur age, Australia looked completely different. Rising global temperatures flooded the continent with seawater. At its peak, over 90% of Australia lay underwater. The largest inland sea was called the Eromanga Sea. It was shallow, cold, murky, and rich in nutrients. And it would become one of the most dangerous places in Earth's history. After the inland seas vanished, Australia became a harsh land of extremes. Around 50,000 years ago, early humans arrived on this dangerous continent. They did not arrive alone. Australia was already ruled by megafauna. Some predators here were larger than anything alive today. One of the most terrifying was Megalania, the largest land lizard ever known. Megalania could exceed 23 feet in length, or about 7 meters. It hunted large animals and may have targeted early humans. Giant snakes also dominated Australia's ecosystems. Some species grew far larger than any modern python. Predatory marsupials added to the danger. Thylacoleo, the marsupial lion, was a powerful ambush predator. With massive claws and jaws, it could kill prey much larger than itself. Even crocodiles were different here. Some species lived mostly on land rather than in water. These terrestrial crocodiles could run and ambush prey. For early humans, survival demanded constant awareness. Fire, tools, and cooperation became essential. But even these advantages were not always enough. Australia remained one of the most dangerous places on Earth. Yet all of this danger was mild compared to what came earlier. Long before humans, Australia faced a far greater threat. A time when predators ruled land, sea, and sky together. This was the age of the Eromanga Sea, an inland sea that transformed Australia into a killing ground. And within its waters lived predators beyond imagination. To understand these predators, we must understand the sea that created them. During the early Cretaceous, global temperatures began to rise sharply. Melting ice and thermal expansion caused sea levels to climb worldwide. Ocean waters pushed southward into the Australian continent. Over time, vast inland seas began to form across the land. The largest and most important was the Eromanga Sea. It stretched over 1,200 miles, or about 2,000 kilometers across Australia. Its total area rivaled that of the modern Sea of Japan. Despite its size, the Eromanga Sea was extremely shallow. In many places, water depth measured only a few meters. The water was murky, cold, and often stagnant. Southern regions experienced near-freezing winter temperatures. Australia sat much farther south than it does today. These cold, shallow waters trapped enormous amounts of sediment. Iron-rich mud and organic material accumulated rapidly. This created one of the most nutrient-rich seas ever recorded. Coastal habitats, estuaries, and floodplains formed everywhere. Life exploded across the Eromanga Sea. Fish, mollusks, turtles, and marine reptiles flourished. With so much prey, predators rapidly evolved larger and deadlier forms. This transformation peaked during the Albian stage. The Albian lasted from 113 million to 100 million years ago. During this time, the Eromanga Sea became extremely dangerous. Apex predators ruled these shallow waters without competition. And among them rose a hunter unlike anything before. This new hunter did not belong to the future age of mosasaurs. Mosasaurs had not yet evolved during the early Cretaceous. Instead, a different group ruled these seas. They were known as pliosaurs. Pliosaurs first appeared during the Jurassic period. Most disappeared before the late Cretaceous. But several species survived into the early Cretaceous. The Eromanga Sea became one of their final strongholds. Pliosaurs were built for power, not endurance. They had massive heads, short necks, and streamlined bodies. 4 enormous flippers propelled them through shallow water. Their skulls were wider and heavier than most marine reptiles. Rows of sharp, conical teeth lined their powerful jaws. These teeth were designed to grip and tear large prey. Pliosaurs relied on sudden ambush rather than long chases. Shallow, murky water made them nearly invisible until impact. This hunting style was perfect for the Eromanga Sea. Smaller marine reptiles, fish and turtles were easy targets. Even large predators were not always safe. Competition among pliosaurs was fierce and often violent. Only the largest and strongest individuals survived. Over time, one species rose above all others. It grew larger, heavier, and more aggressive than its relatives. This predator would become the undisputed ruler of the Eromanga Sea. Its name was Kronosaurus. Kronosaurus was one of the largest pliosaurs ever discovered. Adult individuals reached lengths of about 36 feet, or nearly 11 meters. Some fossil evidence suggests lengths up to 43 feet, or about 13 meters. Its body was thick, muscular, and incredibly heavy. The estimated weight exceeds 33,000 pounds, or about 15 tons. Kronosaurus was heavier than later giant mosasaurs. Its 4 flippers were longer than an average human is tall. These flippers allowed sudden bursts of speed in shallow water. But its most terrifying feature was its skull. The skull was larger than that of any dinosaur, except ceratopsians. Some specimens show a skull over 1/3 longer than a Tyrannosaurus rex skull. Its jaws held massive conical teeth designed for deep penetration. Each tooth was thick-rooted and firmly anchored in bone. This structure allowed Kronosaurus to attack extremely large prey. Its bite force is estimated to exceed 27,000 newtons, roughly equal to 2.7 tons of force. That is about 18 times stronger than a modern tiger. Bone-crushing bites allowed it to shatter flesh and skeletons. Growth patterns suggest an extremely high metabolism. Its metabolism may have resembled that of modern birds. This allowed Kronosaurus to hunt even in cold southern waters. Such energy demands required enormous amounts of food daily. It fed on fish, turtles, plesiosaurs, and other marine reptiles. Some prey reached over 60% of its own body size. Kronosaurus did not discriminate. If it had meat, it was food. Yet this unstoppable predator carried a dark weakness within. Kronosaurus' dominance came at an extreme biological cost. Its massive body required constant feeding to survive. Failure to find food quickly could be fatal. This pressure shaped its behavior into relentless aggression. Fossil evidence shows Kronosaurus attacked almost anything it encountered. Prey included fish, turtles, plesiosaurs, and other pliosaurs. Even juveniles of its own species were not spared. Cannibalism appears to have been common. Several juvenile fossils show bite marks matching adult Kronosaurus teeth. One notable specimen measured about 20 feet, or roughly 6 meters. Its skull was completely missing, likely eaten by a larger Kronosaurus. The rest of the body was never recovered. Juvenile mortality rates were likely extremely high. Survival depended on rapid growth and constant vigilance. Scientists compare this behavior to modern crocodiles. Like crocodiles, Kronosaurus attacked opportunistically. Size alone did not guarantee safety. Injury or weakness could quickly become a death sentence. This constant danger kept the ecosystem in balance. But Kronosaurus was not the only predator exploiting weakness. Another group of hunters thrived in the Eromanga Sea. They moved faster, attacked from below, and struck with precision. These predators were sharks. Fossil evidence suggests they targeted young Kronosaurus. Even the ruler of the sea was not beyond their reach. Sharks had existed long before the Eromanga Sea formed. But in this inland sea, they found perfect conditions to thrive. Cold, murky water favored speed, senses, and sudden attacks. Many sharks here belong to the group Lamiformes. Lamiformes are ancestors of modern great white sharks. These sharks were fast, powerful, and built for pursuit. Their teeth were serrated, designed to cause massive bleeding. Fossils reveal shark bite marks on marine reptile bones. Some of these marks appear on Kronosaurus jaws. This suggests sharks scavenged or attacked injured individuals. Young Kronosaurus were especially vulnerable. Smaller size made them ideal targets for fast sharks. One shark stood out among all others. It closely resembled Cretoxyrina, the famous Ginsu shark. This Australian form may have grown even larger. Estimates suggest lengths up to 30 feet, or about 9 meters. The body mass may have exceeded 13,200 pounds or about 6 tons. These sharks could reach speeds over 45 miles per hour. Speed allowed them to strike and retreat instantly. Even Kronosaurus had to be cautious. Injured giants often attracted multiple sharks. In the Eromanga Sea, weakness meant death. Predators hunted predators in an endless cycle, yet sharks were only part of this ancient ecosystem. Other giants still ruled the depths alongside them. Beyond sharks, other ancient giants still thrived in these waters. Among them were ichthyosaurs, survivors from much earlier ages. Ichthyosaurs once ruled oceans during the Triassic and Jurassic. By the early Cretaceous, most species were declining. But in the Eromanga Sea, some reached enormous sizes. These giants hunted fish, squid, and other marine animals. Plesiosaurs also adapted to this unstable inland sea. Some species tolerated both saltwater and freshwater conditions. Their long necks helped ambush prey in murky water. Giant marine turtles moved slowly through these dangerous waters. Thick shells offered protection, but not complete safety. Jellyfish, rays, mollusks, and strange fish filled every niche. The Eromanga Sea became one of the most crowded ecosystems ever. Danger existed at every depth and every shoreline. Along the coasts, massive dinosaurs gathered to feed. Titanosaurs, among the largest land animals ever, roamed here. Their sheer size offered protection from most predators. But smaller predators exploited speed instead of strength. Australovenator hunted along the shores with agility. Measuring about 20 feet or roughly 6 meters, it was built for pursuit. Large claws and sharp teeth made it a lethal hunter. Land and sea dangers overlapped constantly. Floods regularly reshaped coastlines and hunting grounds. This unstable world was approaching a breaking point. Soon, the Eromanga Sea itself would begin to disappear. The Eromanga Sea did not vanish overnight. Its collapse unfolded over millions of years. Tectonic forces slowly lifted the Australian continent. As land rose, shallow seas began to drain away. Coastlines shifted constantly, reshaping habitats. Volcanic activity further destabilized the region. Ash and minerals altered water, chemistry. Massive floods became more frequent and destructive. River systems expanded across the former seabed. Marine species struggled as salinity levels changed. Shallow water specialists lost their ideal environment. Food chains began to collapse. Apex predators were hit hardest. Kronosaurus required enormous prey densities to survive. As prey vanished, starvation became inevitable. Sharks and marine reptiles declined alongside it. By the end of the Albian stage, the sea was fragmented. Between 113 million and 100 million years ago, the world was transformed. The Eromanga Sea retreated permanently. In its place, formed vast floodplains and wetlands. Australia transitioned from ocean world to land world. The most dangerous ecosystem in its history was gone. But its legacy remained buried beneath the ground. Fossils preserved the story of a lost nightmare. And today, we walk unknowingly above that ancient graveyard. The nightmare world of the Eromanga Sea is long gone. But its story did not vanish with the water. Beneath Australia's dry surface lie layers of ancient death. Fossils reveal predators larger than anything alive today. Kronosaurus, sharks, and marine reptiles once ruled here. Entire ecosystems rose and collapsed long before humans existed. Australia's danger did not begin with snakes or spiders. It began when oceans swallowed the land itself. Over time, nature replaced monsters with deserts and forests. The continent became safer, but never truly gentle. Modern Australia still carries echoes of its violent past. Every fossil is a warning carved in stone. Earth creates monsters when conditions allow it, and removes them just as ruthlessly. Australia is proof of that brutal balance. Today, people walk these lands unaware of what lies below. Beneath them rests one of Earth's deadliest chapters. A time when land, sea, and sky all hunted. A time when survival belonged only to the strongest. That world is gone, but not forgotten. Australia today is beautiful, but shaped by terror. Its calm surface hides a violent origin. The past reminds us how fragile dominance truly is. Even the greatest predators eventually fall. When Australia was a sea, it was Earth's deadliest place.